Okay, I'm here with my 1994 Montero, Mitsubishi Montero. Old vehicle, not worth much, but really good off-road. Great truck. What commonly happens with these things is that the plastic piece here dry rots and breaks. I don't know if you guys can see that, but basically it's the rear door tailgate latch or whatever handle. And I found one online to replace it with, and now I've got to take it off and remove this plastic cover so I can replace it. I wasn't sure, so I took off the license plate, but that doesn't look like that's necessary, so you wouldn't have to do that. Come around the inside, you pull off the panel here. It's just little, I forgot what you call these, but they just pop out. Use your hand to go all the way around. Remove it, and then you'll have access to these bolts right here, and possibly that one, I'm not sure yet, to remove the handle. So I'm going to work on that and then I'll come back. Okay, as you can see, I've removed the nuts off of this, and this is loose and will come out. I will need to disconnect it from this part right here, but it looks like I'm going to have to loosen this, remove this nut, as well as one in the corner. I don't know if you can make it out in this light, but it's right back there, in order to get the plastic piece off the outside and gain access to what I need to get to. Okay, by the way, these nuts are 10 millimeter, and you can just use a ratchet. They're not very hard to get off. Pretty well protected, so there's no corrosion. I'll show you what I did here. So I saw a video on, I thought it was YouTube, but I can't seem to find it. I wanted to look at it again before I did the repair. That said that you need to get a tool and pop this off. The only thing holding it are two rivets. I found out that's not the case. You can pop those off. I'll show you this better in a moment. But they're really held together by these two outer bolts and nuts. So when I remove the last couple threads on this, it'll probably just fall to the ground. And I don't want that to happen, so let me pause this. Okay, yeah, so there you go. Those are the two bolts that fit through the holes, and pretty much what was my stumbling block for popping this thing off. I'm glad I didn't force it, or I would have had to replace the plastic too. So here's the broken part. You can see where it broke right here. There's a piece right here. There's some other pieces missing as well that just fell off. So I'm going to get the new piece and put that in and show you what I do. But before I do that, there is a rod in here that I need to disconnect, and I've got to figure that. Oh yeah, it just pops out right here on this little clip. You can see it when you get the new part, and that's where it's going to go. Commonly what happens with these things, and the reason they break, is that you're supposed to get in here every now and then and lube this up. If you want it to keep working easily, but the plastic was so brittle and this stiffened up so much that when I pulled on it, the plastic just couldn't take it and it broke. So anyway, I'll be right back. Okay, so here's the new part that I purchased on the internet. You can see it's got the bolts on the outside where it'll mount, and then that little orange clip right there is where that rod, which is right there, will attach. So I'll pop this out and then put this in. It looks like the rod has got an L shape with an elbow right here that'll insert in the little hole right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, so I popped that other piece out, the rod, which is dangling down here somewhere. And I've just got to move it back up and put it into position. Real easy to pop out. You might need a screwdriver. On the old kind, you just pry this apart and then it just pops right out. I've loosely installed the latch handle, and I've just got to bolt everything back together and put that rod on, which I'll do, and hopefully it'll work. Okay, I've put the nuts on here, and I've attached the rod. It's a good place to spray lube some stuff right back in here where this rod attaches. I also put some lube right here. So before I tighten everything up and put it back together, it's probably a good idea to check and make sure this thing works. Alright, beautiful. Alright, so now it's just a matter of reattaching everything, putting this panel back on, popping it back into position, as far as this piece goes back here, you'll see that I just took the approach of unscrew everything to take this off to see what was in there. And you really don't need to do that. Like I said, once you pop this inside panel off, undo the bolts that go right here from the plastic covering outside. Then you can just almost really basically use your hand or maybe even a putty knife. You don't need to buy a special tool, although you could, and just pry it out. It'll pop right out. And that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to do the reverse, and I think you guys got the idea. Hopefully this will help somebody. Thanks for watching.